Our stories are brilliant. We are resilient. Our stories are brilliant. We are resilient.
This is Beyond the Margins, where we go deeper into story, creativity, and the courage it takes to speak your truth. Join host Jen Chambers each week for writing inspiration, conversations with creative minds, the yearly 12-week Artist Sway series, or the Write Your Story series, all designed to help you find, shape, and share your voice. Because your story doesn't end on the page, it begins beyond the margins.
Kena is an empowerment guide. She wants to help women shake off old roles, reconnect with their heart, mind, and sensual self. Let her guide you to remember the wholeness that has always been yours. I love that description. Is that like accurate?
Oh, yes, it is. That's so beautiful. I like it too.
Beautiful. So why don't you start by telling me about kind of where your mission is right now and what kinds of things you're doing?
Okay, what my mission is. That sounds like a hard statement, but no, at the same time, it makes sense because I'm really looking forward, and I think I'm already on the path to create impact in this world, and it's really helping people. At this moment, I feel more inclined to women, but I can see myself eventually probably helping also like working with men, but it's basically connecting back to their souls. And I mean, I do believe that we are humans having, well, a soul having a human experience, but that's the fun part, is experimenting in this vessel in the body. And that body, it's our mind, it's our heart, it's also our sexuality, which unfortunately we, at least in a lot of societies, is kind of like taboo. We block it, we don't talk about it. So putting these three elements into our essence by knowing how to guard it, to take care of it, and at the same time when to open it, I think it's important for us to live with more flow and ease. So yeah, that's why I help people into getting into these areas in our lives to live better. We're here to enjoy life, to live at our best, because I think our minds are so limited because we only see what is there, and what is there, it has limit, it has manipulation, has a lot of programming. So by getting to know who we are truly and deeply is how we can start like digging in and seeing, okay, what else is there that is actually the soul itself coming through.
Well, how did you get here? How did you get here? Like, where did you start? What is like the beginning of you, where you got to want to teach about these things?
Okay. And it started when so I'm from Mexico. When I moved to Montreal in Canada, I was like, I want to do exercise. So I started like doing yoga. And after practicing a few years is when finally my body and mind connected. Because I used to live a lot in my mind. So from there, I was like, okay, then there's the body. And then the body started asking like, hello, let's start eating healthier. I started like just being more mindful. So I started eating changing my eating habits, and then doing more meditation and different things like that, which then it guided me to do a yoga certification. I also did a certification as a coach in habits, which it was kind of like the one who opened up and then understand that we are body, mind, and soul. And that I can say kind of like when the way we work it there, and it was like, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. So I can say that was kind of like the beginning of the spiritual path. And then with the yoga certification, since it's actually science, we went deeper into all these elements. And I was like, you were kind of like exploded more like this spiritual side of me and saying, yeah, I'm a soul living, having a human experience and not vice versa.
Oh, I love that. Did you have any big aha moments or things that you really felt help you learn? Any moments? And you're like,
I have kind of, I'm trying to remember like what comes to mind at this moment, but I think For example, I can say that meditation for me changed my life. Just by being aware of what I was thinking and then saying, I love this metaphor. They're saying like, I am the sky and my thoughts are the clouds, right? So then by seeing that and noticing that I am the observer and not the mind itself, many people would think we are. Once we start being the observer and basically it's our consciousness noticing what's happening there, and then we would say, oh, okay, that's a thought, that's a belief, and then that's the voice of my teacher, and that's the whatever program of the collective, By noticing all this, I start getting more freer because I understand a lot of stuff that was going on in my head. It was not mine. So then I started being more mindful. I said, okay, so I don't accept that anymore. What do I choose now? And that's also how I start shifting from my negative mentality to a positive mentality. And of course, it's a continuous process. I'm more in the positive between quotes now, but it's having that awareness and being as present as possible that it makes it easier, to choose better every time.
Tell me about the beginning of your community. You have the Midlife Butterfly community. How did you start your podcast and your community around that?
Oh, yes. So it's so exciting. So I started the podcast, this January. And the funny part is that my business, I love calling it business. So it used to be called the Wellbeing Project. And when I started the podcast, so I was searching for a name for the podcast, and is when Midlife Butterfly came through. And I just loved it. I was like, this feels more connected to who I am now than what I was before. So that's when I shifted to Midlife Butterfly. And it's about that. It's creating this movement of women because sisterhood is so important. And we have experienced it with our pod sisters. Like how we can support each other and listen to each other. And sometimes you don't have to say anything, but being held in a safe space, how important it is. And that's what I want to offer women. And me being single at this moment, I know a lot of women are single too, either if they are divorced, separated, or being single for a long time. It's the fact that we missed that connection with other people. And since we're working a lot from home or things like that, that kind of loneliness, it comes to a lot of people. Like for me, it's solitude. I enjoy being alone, but there is a lot of people that they have not done the inner work. It becomes like loneliness, and that's very draining, and it can create a lot of different mental states that are not good. So that's why creating the Midlife Butterfly for community and also for them to know themselves. It's more about that. It's like seeing the reflection of other people in a good way, not in a competitive way, but in a way of saying, okay, like they are going in this direction, and because they are like-minded women and with a heart, with a soul that they are ready there to expose, but they don't feel safe everywhere. So that's what I have experienced with the people who are coming to my communities is like, like I feel safe, I feel heard, and there's women into self-development, and so that's what it brings us together, and it's very exciting.
You do this in live groups as well as online, correct?
Yes. Yeah, in both. Yeah. And so here in Montreal, what I opened was the women's circles. And we have gathered a few times already, and we're going to have a workshop this Wednesday, which I'm very excited about it. And then online also, I'm being in different communities as well, and I'm creating mine too. So they're growing. They are growing.
What are the ways that you practice in your daily life? You mentioned meditation being very important. Are there other practices that you do regularly that are helpful for you?
Yes, I do breath work. Well, I'm currently doing a certification as a neuroepigenetic breathing, which is a kind of breath work, but it's it has very singular parts that eventually I'm going to be sharing. And it's so healing. It's revolutionary. And again, I love it because it includes pleasure, heart, and consciousness. It's not only that the mind heart coherence that most of the people practice. This one includes pleasure itself. And it's amazing how we can actually heal through pressure, with pleasure, not having it as an end goal, but using it as a tool for healing. And I love doing those practices. They are super cool. And then besides that, it's movement. That one changes because I like running, rock climbing, doing yoga, just simply dancing, walking. So whatever kind of movement I have. And I also love doing journaling. I mean, you as a writer, I think you know that. And yeah, journaling is just, it's so deep and so healing as well. And then it's great to find answers to the hidden questions too. So yeah.
Hmm. I love that a lot of your journey has been about seeking answers. I think
Yes.
that's really, really interesting. That's really interesting. And the fact that you've used a lot of different methods to get there, but you feel like you're living your life as such a fully realized and self-aware kind of person.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for mentioning that because I think that's why I love guiding people to know who they are. Because the more we know who we are, the better choices we're going to take, the less the people pleaser we're going to be, the more we're going to love ourselves and, and respect ourselves and prioritize ourselves. Because when we know how to fill up our cups first instead of others, and which we have been programmed the contrary, right? Because it's selfish, whatever. And no, the more self-care we do, the more we can fill up our cup and then give from a place of love and abundance instead of scarcity and then resentment.
Well, I love that. And that's true. Like we have to take care of ourselves first.
Yeah.
So you're also going to do retreats, correct?
Yes. Yeah. I have the first one coming up on October 23rd to 26th. I'm super excited about it. It's going to be around the Montreal area. So it's like 4 days, 3 nights. And it's called Reset. So it's basically 2 resets. Like get out of your place and reconnect with nature, with other women, and have me time, but at the same time, sisterhood time, and have some fun activities because I noticed that we are missing in our lives a lot is play. So there's a lot of play in there too.
But it sounds like you have a lot of play in your life with all the different activities you do and dancing.
Yes.
Is that something that's always been a part of your life? That sense of freedom to play?
It was probably when I was a kid, and I guess I lost it like in university. And I can say in the last, I don't know, like 5 years, I came of like reconnect with that part of me. Yeah.
Ooh.
No, I'm coming back to it. But I think we get to roll on into the adulthood and doing the proper things and following the checklist that at the end, who cares about it? That's what I love, like midlife butterfly, because I think when we think sometimes that midlife is a crisis, but no, it's really like an awakening. It's like, hey, I'm calling you back. You've been lost for a while. You committed to all the other things. It's time to come home again. And that kind of play, I think, comes from there too. Yeah.
Oh, it's such a great idea. And so many people, well, women especially, and the idea that we have something more, something more to bloom into,
Of course.
rather than having left it all behind.
Exactly. And then more like in midlife, we go through so many transitions, right? I don't have children, but whoever has children, then if they are empty nesters, or if you go to a divorce or a separation, or if you move to another city, you get a new job after working who knows how many years in a company. So all these continuous transitions, it's kind of like we can feel sometimes like shaky, but I do believe when we have solid practices, that's the base to have, like to feel more rooted and more aligned into who we are. And then from there, it doesn't matter what happens, it's easier to come back home, to come back into that alignment. Yeah.
Are there resources that you recommend for people in your communities?
You mean like books or
Yeah,
what to
like books,
Yeah.
or do you have a yoga practice that you give to people in your communities? Do you have, ideas for them?
Okay. Yoga, not really. I mean, I do have a few people that I can recommend in the case that I do yoga, that I follow them online. Yeah, that could be. And then there are a couple of books that they have helped me a lot, like The Untethered Soul from Michael Singer. That was very interesting book. And then the other one, what's the one from Joe Dispenza? Something about letting go of being yourself. What's the name of the book? I forgot about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, something about that it also includes meditation, actually, that book.
Mhm.
And yeah, what other one? Abundant Ever After with Kathy Heller. That's a very good book too,
Mhm.
from our mentor. And yeah, those are, I mean, there are other books, but at this moment I cannot remember. But those are kind of like the ones who have helped me a lot. And it's both like them are more based on the mind, because I think that the more we can understand the mind, the more we understand who we are and who we are not.
Mm. Whoa, that's powerful and so
Yeah.
true. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, those are great ideas. I always like to ask that question just because I think it's interesting, the things that have helped you get to where you are and that you
Mhm.
help other people with.
Yeah.
Now, what kinds of things do you talk about on your podcast?
In my podcast, it's about, well, life transitions. I just mentioned before any of
Right.
those. I love talking about spirituality,
Mhm.
mind, body, and soul as well. I interview a lot of great women. You've been included there. Different topics like, not giving a fuck about societal.
That was a good one. Yes.
Yeah, that was a very good one. I think it's a more listened to so far in there.
Mm.
But then I have about sisterhood, about a woman who she became widow, like subtly, and how she has transformed her life after 7 years, and she has a boyfriend now, and then she needed to deal with 5 kids. So very powerful stories in there. And I also, like the solo episodes, I share a lot about my life. I mean, as you notice, like I'm very like into getting to know who I am. I really enjoy it. And what I teach or guide people within my coaching is really about what I have experienced in my life. So that's what I share in there. It's like, okay, like this happened and this happened, but it's like always like tying things together and how I have experienced life. And I mean, I've been divorced twice, and then I mean, I'm immigrant, and I'm learning different languages. So all those life experiences, also how they have enhanced and my life itself for where I am now. So I love sharing all those kind of stories in there too. And yeah, and pleasure is coming more into there as I keep learning about it. Again, for me, used to be a taboo. Yeah, that's a midlife butterfly.
Well, I love that everything that you do is all about bringing you back to yourself. I love that. And it also
Thank
seems
you.
like the underlying message is that it's all about love for yourself and caring for yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And it's so important and it's something that people don't talk about or people dismiss, but
Exactly. And I think that's the aim of being alive. It's love. But what I get to experience for for the losing, of the passing of my father, and then my last divorce and stuff, it's the fact that we still can love. It doesn't matter if the person is there. So it's when that unconditional love really comes in. And the thing, love's supposed to be unconditional. Otherwise, it's not really love. But what I learned too is that, well, after these two situations happened, I used to say, oh yeah, I love myself. And then I realized that's not true. So when I took the time to really like go into the grieving process, and the more I take care of myself, the more care, the more the grow love within me. And that's why I believe that radical self-love is so important, because once we love ourselves so much, we release the pleaser, we respect ourselves more, we speak our truth, we are more authentic. And when we get to that point, we're so unapologetic to other people, and we don't care much anymore about what others may think, because we know we are the priority. And it's not selfish, because every person should think the same, because then we attract the people who think the same and allow us to be us. And on the other hand is also the fact that I know I love myself so much that I love sharing my love, and I don't expect other ones to love me back, because I'm here to share it. So if you want to love me, it's okay. And if you want to love me, don't want to love me, it's also okay. Even though, yeah, it might hurt at the beginning, but then I'm going to forget about it, you know.
Thank Kena for coming on the show. Actually, this weekend is her retreat, but she will be having more. So please contact her at the Midlife Butterfly on Instagram. She's amazing, and I'm so grateful that she came to talk with us today. I hope you guys have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.
Our stories are